What is the scariest yet most realistic future film ever made?
In comparison, I thought that BBC's Nuclear Holocaust Threads was much more terrifying and depressing than US TV movie, The Day After.
Children of Men. You want to know what makes it so scarily realistic? Alfonso Cuarón deliberately shot scenes in East London and asked the production designers to make it more Mexican. In other words, make it look even more run-down than it already was. Cuarón leaned in on his own experiences in growing up in Mexico and seeing everyday poverty to bring that to look and feel to a futuristic London. The future London isn't a gleaming metropolis, it's a metropolis on the verge of collapse and giving up. The battle scenes weren't fantastical as so many sci-fi dystopian films often are, they're based on real conflicts. Cuarón was smart to include imagery from the then current Iraq invasion and the atrocities committed in Abu Ghraib to jar the viewers' thoughts and attentions just long enough to make them feel queasy. The shots of illegal immigrants in cages were disturbing then, well, they should be fucking frightening now. Cuarón and the production designers saturated that film with little visual snippets of then current events and fictional future atrocities to make it a highly believable, and scary, world.
Contagion. A movie about a coronavirus outbreak that predated COVID-19.
A scanner darkly. A large amount of the population have become drug addicts, the government enacts a total police state, and the addicts slowly descend into insanity, and eventually are put into rehab once their brains are fried. Once they are rehabbed, they are basically lobotomized, or brainwashed, they are sent to work on large corporate farms. The same corporations that own the rehabs, also own the farms, and they are also the ones growing the illicit drugs that cause the whole problem. The episode of Black Mirror, Nosedive. I was more horrified at that scenario than at any horror film I've seen.
Gattaca.
The Road.
Wall-E.
Children of Men.
Elysium strikes me as the most realistic, as far as the social structure. You have an ultra-rich class, a mercenary-type middle class, and everyone else is fighting for the scraps. Logan's Run, it's a bit of a cult classic. In the future, there are limited places for humans to live, so everyone has an expiration date regardless of how healthy they are. Everyone has to die before a certain age. I won't spoil it in case anyone wants to see it. It's an old-school sci-fi movie that I have loved since I was a kid.
RoboCop. Dude dies at work. Gets resurrected to continue working. Also the whole bit about corporations privatizing public services. Feels like we're gonna be there in a few years.
Not really The Matrix, but the idea where the AI program Agent Smith becomes so self-aware he wants out.
No one mentioned 12 Monkeys yet? Found it super realistic and scary.
Soylent Green. Idiocracy.
Brazil.